In my opinion, the most effective way to deal with students and their cell phones is to have a policy at the board level and allow the superintendent to enforce that policy. In effect, what you do is you take the decision from the building level administrators, because they're always going to be wondering, and quite possibly they may waver, because in the back of their mind, they're questioning whether or not they're going to have the support of the district level administration if parents get upset. So I believe that it's best that the superintendent lead the charge if the cell phones are a problem, and most teachers would say yes they are, and if they're a problem in the classroom, then the superintendent and the board need to be leading the charge against cell phones. And that is what is happening in some parts of the country. And of course, you knew that you were going to have a group of very vocal parents and students who are against those policies, as we see here today. Sound off. Thousands of students, parents demand Broward schools lift phone ban. So in Miami, that's what we're talking about. We have a lot of parents and students who are upset. Students say schools are feeling more and more like prisons these days, minus the body cavity searches. Don't hold your breath. Okay, so definitely we know that nowadays they're very attached to their phones, and adults are as well. Let's be honest. But when it comes to the mission that we have to accomplish in the classroom, we as teachers, we need students' undivided attention in order to make that happen. And definitely when you're talking about schools that have a lot of work to do in terms of their student achievement numbers, like you cannot make any room for any distractions. You've got to get those distractions out. So let's read a little bit of this here. Students and parents are fuming about Broward County Public Schools' new policy that will force kids to keep their phones off while on campus. For years, school districts around the country have been trying to curb cell phone use in and around the classroom. As kids are getting cell phones at younger ages, it's really unbelievable, and becoming more attached to their devices, school administrators and teachers have pushed for crackdowns on cell use, saying students are struggling to socialize face to face and pay attention during class. This is all too familiar. We're seeing it around the country. This is where we are present day when it comes to cell phones and young people. And again, to qualify, if any of you young people are watching, yes, adults, we have some of those issues as well. So last month, the Broward School Board, again, district level, took action on the issue when it passed tight restrictions that ban student cell phone use during school hours and mandate that phones stay off or in airplane mode throughout the school day. The district had previously allowed students to use cell phones between classes and at lunch, though the devices had to be on silent mode. So they've been going at this for a while, and now they're turning things up, and I wonder if they're even going after that lunchtime as well, which, it does seem kind of extreme, doesn't it? In their free time during passing time, or if they're at lunch. I mean, what else are the kids going to do during lunch? I mean, they may have to, I don't know, talk to each other. Oh my gosh, think of the children. We can't have them doing that. While Broward School Board members said the crackdown is necessary to address students' worsening mental health and help improve their real-life interactions, more than a few are decrying the new policy. As of Friday afternoon, roughly 16,500 people had signed a petition urging the county to reverse the ban. Now, let's look at some of those. Let's look at some of these. This is the petition here. And the first one that we see here is we need our phones in case of a shooting nearby. Now, this is an issue that many will bring up. It's a concern held by many, and it's a legitimate concern. It definitely is. I completely agree with this. It's unfair that this is happening. This is apparent, I believe, right here. It is beyond belief already that the school board has not chosen to announce any bomb threats anymore. Now, out of extraordinary wisdom, they have decided to ban cell phones from students. My children will always have their phones for emergencies. I think this is a student. I need my phone. I want phones to be in school again. So this, I can imagine you're going to have quite a few students who are signing who are signing that petition. It goes on. It definitely mentions the other shooting close by in Parkland. That's a shooting that we are all too familiar with. Very, very sad. And so definitely there are some conversations that need to be had, obviously, to address those concerns in terms of safety and security. And as a former administrator, I believe that those concerns can be addressed. And I believe you can have this kind of policy, and I also believe that you can reassure parents that in times of stress, or God forbid, an emergency like a school shooting, that your children are going to be taken care of, and when it's safe and appropriate, you will be able to have contact with your children. And it's just such a terrible thing that we have to have conversations like that we have to plan for such things. It stinks. We have input from a school board member who said that the restrictions will improve students' focus by removing their primary distraction on campus. This board member said it's a bold move to stop the use of addictive apps during school hours. It's going to change the amount of learning that happens. It's going to change the amount of time they talk to other students. It's going to change the teacher's ability to teach those students, said this school board member. Now, some parents say, however, that they are concerned about contacting their children about family plans, safety issues, and even mundane matters like carpool plan changes. And again, I think a lot of those, if you remember, before cell phones, which a lot of us do, before cell phones, we were able to communicate those things. When parents called into the main office, we were able to handle those things. And so I think that things are going to be okay. I think that once the school year starts, parents are going to realize, oh, okay, it's not that bad. And again, God forbid there's a terrible emergency, and that's going to cause anxiety for a lot of people, understandably so. So I really do hope that as we go into this brand new school year, I hope and pray that we don't have any. I just pray we don't have any no gun violence in our schools this year. I just pray for that. Now, also, the last part here is this school district is not the only school district that's doing this nationwide. Like, I think that this is the way to do it. It's got to be spearheaded by the top. It also mentions here that the Los Angeles Unified School District, second largest district in the country by enrollment, and Orange County Public Schools in Central Florida are among those that have instituted cell bans. New York City School District, the largest in the nation, has announced plans to put a ban in place as well during school hours. I think that this can be a good thing. I think this juice is worth the squeeze, and it's understandable that parents are fuming about it. They're upset. They're kind of anxious about it because of definitely the recent history in terms of just emergencies and just acts of gun violence, sadly, in schools. So we're going to continue to follow this. There's been a lot of news about this particular subject popping up, especially as we begin to head back to school. So we'll keep an eye on it. And once again, we'll just pray for the safety of our students, our staff members at schools across the country throughout this school year. Well, that's it for this edition. Thank you so much for supporting this channel by liking, by subscribing, and by using the link in the description section to partner with us every time you shop at Amazon. Whenever you use that link in the description section, We get a commission, same prices. You have all the rights and privileges to everything that Amazon offers. All you're doing is you're just supporting this channel and giving a commission. Well, that's it for now. We'll see you next time.